Hi everybody, welcome back. I am absolutely basking in this gorgeous, gorgeous spring day. The sun is shining, I'm wearing yellow. You know the day is good when that combination of things is happening. But I will say that if you live in a colder climate and you experience seasons in their fullness, spring is such a wild ride of an adventure when it comes to the weather. The sun will be shining, you're feeling hot, you might even have a little dribble of sweat dribble down, and then the second you're into the shade, it's freezing, Arctic ice. Nighttime, it's winter. So it's currently very warm and sunshiny outside, but inside, I'm cold, I'm freezing, the heat is on. So anyway, I had just uploaded a few days ago my little chat about my closet and some of my thoughts surrounding luxury goods, some things that I am parting ways with, some things that I posted on my Depop, and just kind of a big chat about some of the things that I've been seeing online. So I realized when I edited that video and went through it, I didn't actually show you many of the things that I was decluttering at all. I did like one little blip of a time lapse as I was posting things on Depop. I was too wrapped up in my discussion about bags and luxury goods that I forgot to show you anything I decluttered. And I really wanted to talk about it because it's kind of this whole subject that I've been embarking on. You know, we've done stylist styling my outfits. We've done the color analyses. We've done a bunch of things and trying to find fun tips and ways to make getting dressed and styling and finding your own personal style easier. And something that I've not really taken quite a deep dive into is my body shape. And that actually impacted a lot of things that I had done in that big declutter that I recently did, and it also impacted a few of the new pieces that I've been picking up for spring. So I wanted to kind of continue the chat, show you a few things that I've picked up and also a few things that I'm getting rid of, like literally piece for piece swaps that I'm doing in my closet, and maybe if any of you are experiencing similar things, this might be helpful for you. So this journey for me actually began when I had met with Donna Cameron back when we were on our Melbourne trip at the start of the year, and she had briefly touched on body shapes, and there was a bit of a mention of it in her book that she then very kindly gave me. We had a moment where we talked about it, didn't really expand on it or go deeper on that. We really stuck to the color part of that analysis, but it was something that I had been thinking about, and I swear TikTok, you know, it's listening to us, it hears everything we say. In the weeks and months that then followed, I've just been getting served so many things on like styling different body shapes and very specific body shapes tailored to me, and I'm like, how do you know what my body shape is, TikTok? Are you analyzing my videos? Now it's up for interpretation. When I Google things about body shapes, it might not be so easy to determine what your body shape is, but I've come to realize that I'm either a rectangle, like a true rectangle, or perhaps an inverted triangle because I've got really broad shoulders. I have no hips, straight up and down, more athletic build. No hips to be seen, no boobs to be seen, and it's proving to be a rather interesting body shape to style. And yeah, I've just been getting served so many different styling videos. I've kind of been taking mental notes on a few of the things, and I went and did a good look through my closet with all of these tips that I learned. So the reason why I feel like I'm in between a rectangle and an inverted triangle is because I can't actually tell so much. If my shoulders are so much more broad than my hips, you know, I can't really tell. I'm just gonna go with rectangle, but there were a lot of similarities between the two. So basically, this is my body shape, and we might not all have the same body shape, but I encourage you to look it up and see how to best style your body shape because it's been very, very fun. And again, these things you might already inherently do. You might already know what looks best on you, and you may already do this in your getting dressed formula, but sometimes it's nice to look at it and be like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that piece that has been sitting in my closet collecting dust and I'm not wearing it, maybe this is why, because it doesn't complement my body shape whatsoever. And also on that note, it doesn't have to complement. It doesn't have to be a flattering thing. You can just wear something, wear a piece, wear an outfit because you love it. It doesn't have to be flattering, but sometimes it's helpful just to have a little hint, a little tip here and there to be like, yeah, you know what? I'm deciding between two dresses and I think that one's gonna complement my shape the best. I shall feel the best in that one. So anyway, here I am. I've got no torso whatsoever. I've got a very, very short torso. I'm all legs. And there's been a few fun tips that I learned and have applied them to some of the pieces in my closet. So first thing, one of the top tips that I saw around the board was to not wear high-waisted pants, which I thought was interesting because most of my pants are high-waisted, but actually over the last few years, I've naturally been gravitating towards more mid-rise and low-rise, and that's mainly because so many pairs of the high-waisted pants and jeans and things that I buy are so high that they go like right up to my boob. Like I just don't have enough torso to fill the high-waisted part of it. Like I had bought these gorgeous Kate jeans and the torso just, I literally folded it over. Like it was just simply too high. So I've naturally been gravitating towards more lower rise, mid-rise things, which was interesting, and had that kindly confirmed by the body shape analysis. And the next being that your pants, in a more flattering sense, can be wide-legged and baggy. And I was like, perfect, yep, already naturally do that. So one of the pieces that I had in my closet closet. Maybe if you've been following me for a very long time, many years, you'll recognize these. These are the Arket, the little wool hop sack trouser, something like that. These gorgeous wool pants. I've had these in my closet forever. I literally never wear them. They have gone on and off of Depop many times. They have entered a declutter for me to just be like, no, they're perfect, they're beautiful, let me keep them. Which they are. They're perfect pants, perfect condition. They're wool, they're gorgeous. But I've realized in this little body shape discussion that I probably never wear them because I always look like one of those, I forget what cartoon I'm thinking of right now, but it's like, I don't know, whatever. It has a tapered leg, so it's really baggy. Like up here, it's got these cute little pleats and then it just tapers down and it always makes me feel weird and it just looks weird on my legs. I just never felt right when I put these on. So I realized recently, yeah, these gotta go, and I found a perfect replacement. So these are going out and these are coming in. So very similar pant. I did get them in a slightly different beige shade, but these are a pair of wool pants from Banana Republic and they are wide-legged. We have ditched the tapered pant. I've realized that that is not something that I want in my closet, and this is much more fitting for my body shape. The next piece I actually already touched on and showed you guys what I replaced it with, but I'll do it again here for you. This is the Arket cropped trench coat that I had bought some time ago, and I love the idea of it. It's beautiful, it's a beautiful jacket, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, except that because of my short torso, I've recently been informed that if I want to make myself look as long and tall and flattering as possible, I need to opt for a more cropped thing. And it's so funny because I did always feel that about this. It was like, I might as well just wear a long jacket. It's kind of this mid-crop. It just wasn't cropped enough. And I technically could have gone and just had a little bit of this taken off, and I could have done that, but I actually found an alternative that I loved and I think is much better for my body shape, which was this lovely crop trench from Zara. It's much shorter and it feels much more fitting for the proportions of my torso. Again, I opted for the lighter beige here. Is this a trend? I didn't even realize I did that with both of these, but apparently I was going for lighter colors too. So anyway, that's the little swap I'm doing for my crop jacket. So I am parting ways with this one. This is into the closet. The next tip that I saw for the body shape was regarding blazers, and they said absolutely no to oversized blazers, and I was like, that is so rude. They were like, wear a belt, have something more cinched. You want to accentuate the waist to give you a little bit of shape and pretend like we got something going on for the hips. So they were recommending cinched options and more tailored and basically not baggy and oversized, which I live in. And again, I'm not going to stop wearing baggy and oversized things, but it was something that I thought about with a few of my blazers. I actually parted ways with a few blazers on this closet declutter, but this is a blazer that I bought many years ago. Oh, there's a fluff as well. This is a Jacquemus. Gorgeous blazer, and it's more of like a linen-y, cottony material that I pull out in the summertime, but I always felt really like I was swimming in it oftentimes, and it's not something that I reach for so much. And I realized that maybe it's because I just don't like how it fits on me, and there might be a reason why. So really big, oversized, boxy blazer. It's funny because in the runway show, there is a photo of this and it's actually cinched up with a belt. I fear that this one was too big for me to even do that. It was just too big. It was too oversized. So I think in my heart, I always knew that it had to go, but I was denying it because I love the piece itself so much. But I'm very happy to report that I have a new version in from Uncle Studios, which is not the same because this is like a gorgeous wool blazer. So technically it's not giving the same summery vibes, but this one is just slightly ever so curved and cinched at the waist, and it will help to add a little bit of substance to my figure. It's also much more fitted, it's not as baggy, and therefore it will complement my shape much more. So this is new and gorgeous. This was actually a gift from Uncle Studios, so shout out to you, Uncle Studios. Thank you so much. I love them so, and this is the little black blazer swamp I'm doing in my closet. So then, speaking of ditching the baggy things, you guys know, you know what, let me just show you. Let me just expose myself here. Can you see from over there? Yes, you can. This right here is the baggy shirt section in my closet. I live in baggy button-down things, and that's not changing anytime soon. I just love the feeling of a flowy little shirt. Sometimes I like to tuck it in, sometimes I like to do a little half tuck, but I will say that I've naturally been gravitating towards more cinched, fun little crossover thingies in general. So one of the tops that I had picked up was from this gorgeous brand, Nina Hansen, and they rework old vintage shirts and kind of funk them up a little bit. So what I loved about this is that they added this little pull tie, this little cinchy moment at the waist, and it just gives so much shape. And when I saw these, I tried it on and I was like, oh, you must be mine. This is so good. This is such a fun twist on my classic button-down shirt that I love so much, and it also just happens to be so much more complimentary for my body shape, and also the color of this one in particular was amazing. They have so many different colors, but I was so thrilled to add this to my closet, and then lo and behold, it just happened to be right around the time where I'm having this body shape discussion, so that was fabulous. Another one that I also actually just received is from this gorgeous brand Sissa, and it's the same kind of vibe where they're reworking and having some fun with your classic button-up shirts, and they just added some buttons that you can adjust how tight the shirt is. You can wear it totally open and baggy if you want, or you can give it a little more shape and cinch it up a little bit and make it more tight, and I just love that. It's so fun, and I definitely feel a little bit more like put together and a little bit more, well, it's more flattering, let's just say that. Next up, we're talking shirts and tops and different fits and different styles and how to best complement the broad shoulder part of being a rectangle or inverted triangle. And there were a lot of different shirt tops and fits around the neck that either complement or do not complement broad shoulders. And one of them that was very interesting was just tube tops. Tube tops and off the shoulders said that it makes your shoulders appear wider and just makes this all look very wide. And it was like you want to just kind of break up the width and the broad shoulderedness and add a little bit of interest and distraction. So lots of high neck tops instead of low, thicker straps instead of thin straps, higher necklines instead of lower ones, and there was just lots of fun images regarding this. And so I kind of went through a few of my tops and a few pieces that I don't typically wear versus the ones that I love to wear, and I was like, wow, it totally is what is described. The first one being like tube tops and off the shoulder tops, which I don't even really have in my closet whatsoever. I love a little asymmetric top or a one shoulder top, and I feel like that just breaks it up, and I've always naturally gravitated towards that. So we're good on that front. And I didn't really have too many to declutter because I felt like I was already living that life. But a few tops that I've been picking up have kind of been following in that line of thinking. So this is one cute little ruche top that I bought from H&M. It's got this nice high neck. It covers the whole width of my body. And this is something that I just naturally find compliments me so much more than the off the shoulder vibe. So that was really fun. Another like random little switch up that I did was this top I had actually bought, I think maybe in the fall from Banana Republic. And it's kind of a wider scoop neck. It's cute, like I'll still wear it, and it is cinched at the waist, so it technically does give me a little bit of shape there, but it's not the most flattering thing on the planet. And then when I got this shirt from Reformation, I was like, oh, this is the shirt for me. It's got a nice high neck, it's all nice and cinched throughout the waist, and then it's got a little bit of interest. It makes me look like I've got a little bit of a hip and a little bit of something, just a very flattering shape for my body type, and I love it. And I was like, oh, I wish they had these in more colors, because when I put this on, I was like, this is the top for me. And just the difference between the two, kind of same black and white vibes, like I would reach for this one 10 times out of 10 over this one, and they're two similar pieces that I have in my closet, and I'm like, oh, well, I could pass this one on and just keep this one. Now the next tip was in regards to the length of the top. And this is something that I never really thought too much about because I'm a millennial. I love to tuck my shirts in. I am a shirt tucker. I will do a half tuck, a partial tuck, a side tuck, a full tuck, a back tuck, whatever kind of tuck. I'm down to tuck my shirts. So I just always thought, well, if my pants fit me properly, I can just tuck my shirt in and there's no problem. But I realized that this actually makes such a difference when it comes to like my t-shirts and also my sweaters. There's a lot of sweaters that I've parted ways with that I found just hit me at the wrong spot, especially when it comes to like my active wear, my more comfy sweaters and sweats. Sometimes if a crew neck is like too long, it just throws me off. I don't know. It makes my proportions look weird. It's just not, I don't know. I don't like it. And I noticed it the most recently when it came to my t-shirts. So for example, this is a t-shirt that I have from Club Monaco. She's perfectly fine and lovely. Nice thick cotton white t-shirt. There's nothing wrong with it, but I think I'm going to get it cropped because my favorite top, the one that I reach for the most and that I find fits my body shape the best, is this crop t-shirt from Arket. And it's just where it sits on my waist. This one kind of like pulls me down, makes me feel a little bit weird. I always end up like folding this one under or tucking it into my pants, whereas this one just hits me on the perfect spot at my torso and just makes my legs look nice and long. It just seems to better complement the shape. I don't really know how to describe that one, but there was one fun video that I watched about the crops and it all made sense. And then I looked at these t-shirts and I was like, oh, that makes sense as to why I don't wear this one. And I love this one and wear it so much, and I had recently bought a backup. So the length of your t-shirts, the length of your sweaters, consider getting it hemmed to suit you the best. Okay, next up we're talking skirts. Now listen, for my body shape, I've got no hips whatsoever. I've got hip dips, which, can I just say, screw you TikTok, because it's never something that I noticed. You know when someone points something out and you're like, oh no, I never noticed that before, I never had that insecurity before, but I never realized that I had intense hip dips and that this was a thing that the internet was pointing out and getting fixed and getting things injected and putting butt pads and all the things. You know what? Have you ever played sports? Have you ever gone for a run? Can you sprint? No? Okay, well, shut up about my hip dips and let me live my athletic shaped life, okay? Anyway, one of the moments that I realized I had this thing and that it was something that the internet didn't like and they love to point out was when I wore this lovely fitted long straight skirt. I believe I was in Mexico and I was like, oh, this is such a cute outfit. And then when I was looking at the pictures back, I was like, whoa, I didn't realize that these little hippy dippies were things that I wasn't supposed to have. Maybe the skirt just wasn't the most flattering thing. So I've come to learn that really tight fitted, knitted, all these kinds of skirts, they don't look the best on me. And it's not that I'm trying to hide my hip dips, but there are other shapes that are more flattering on this body shape. So one of the skirts that I had in my collection that I'm going to be parting ways with is this lovely Lovers and Friends skirt. I bought this during my bridal era and I thought it was so pretty. But it's something that I never wore because I would put it on and I'd be like, oh, I don't like feel the best in this. I don't know, I feel like I can do better. You know when you just put an outfit on and you're like, I can do better. Is it because of the shape? Probably. So the shapes that I love the most are more poofy skirts, more A-line skirts, something that give a little bit of interest, a little bit of life, and that maybe give a little bit more width to my otherwise non-existent hips. So you guys know I live in skirts. I live in a midi or maxi skirt that gives me some volume, gives me some life. Again, it's nice and tight around the waist, and it's just such a difference when you're getting dressed, and it's much more flattering. I feel the longest in these, and I wish that I was tall like an avatar, and I'm not. So let's fake it. Okay, so I'm sorry I talked about this at the start and then, you know, we're ending with jeans because obviously the jeans has been, wow, such a journey. We've had such a journey with denim in different shapes and things, and I'm finally accepting and now getting that reaffirmed that I live for a wide-legged baggy jean. I feel the best in it. I love to have a little bit of flow. I love to have a little bit of width, and I just feel like it makes me look long and tall. And that's actually something that happens so often when I meet a lot of you in real life. You're always like, oh, you're so much shorter than I thought. You look so tall online. And I'm like, thank you, must be the baggy jean. No, but really, for my very thick-thighed, no hip athletic, more muscular legs, skinny jeans are just not it. Anything tight, skinny, thin, tapered, any of those words to describe jeans, it's just not the vibe for me. It is just gonna be a big, loose and baggy fit for me. I've come to accept this. I am happy and okay with this, and I will happily pass with all of my tight and skinny jeans. So if you've been creeping my Depop, you'll be seeing a lot of jeans on there that I've been parting ways with that I was in denial about for a very long time, but I've accepted it now. Even though these jeans are beautiful, the wash is perfect, they're so stretchy and comfortable, they just look weird on me. I don't know, I feel so comfortable when I wear my baggy jeans, and I'm accepting that, and I am closing that chapter. I'm not dealing with it anymore. The skinny jeans gotta go. So like I said, I feel like I learned quite a lot about going on this little journey. Again, I might have already been doing it anyway, but there were definitely a lot of pieces that I was holding on to, like especially when it came to the jeans where I'm like, oh, these will fit, or oh, I'll wear it for this thing, or oh, I'll save it for that. No, girl, ditch it. You know you don't like it. You know you don't feel good in them. You know they don't look good on your body type. Just... And I think that a few of these like piece for piece swaps will just make such a difference in the getting ready and getting dressed part of my day where I'm like, yeah, you're right. I never wear that. I never grab that. I always feel weird in it and it looks weird. And this is exactly why. So taking a little moment, taking a little dive to figure out what your body shape is and maybe looking up a few images or looking up a few videos to help you style your body shape in particular, and just taking a few of these little bits and styling tips, it just helps you to look at it differently and it just makes the process easier. So I thought that was helpful. I just wanted to show you guys. While we were discussing the decluttering of the closet, I wanted to show you a few of the exact swaps that I had done and why I was doing them. Very curious to hear your thoughts on this. Do you agree with dressing for your body shape, or do you believe that you can just wear whatever you want and to hell with body shapes and most flattering things? I think both apply, and there are still plenty of plenty of things that I will be wearing that are not complimentary and flattering for my body shape because I like them and it doesn't matter. But let me tell you, it's humbling when you see photos of yourself after and you're like, oh, what was I wearing? And that's not to say that you need to go on a body shape deep dive and then get rid of everything in your closet and buy an entire new wardrobe, okay? There's little things that you can do, some switches that you can make to the clothing that you already have. One of my favorite things that I've seen people doing are doing their own clipping of the baggy shirts and any baggy items, like even a sweater or whatever. You can do the little elastic band trick underneath your shirts or sweaters to cinch them up and make them a little bit shorter or a little bit tighter. I love it when people take a button-down shirt and use a cute little clip or a brooch. I even saw a girl with a really pretty like bedazzled safety pin and she made her shirts tighter. I thought that was so cute. There's a lot of different swaps and things that you can do with the pieces that are already existing, and I want to have a little bit more fun with that. Could definitely use some more bedazzle in my life, but I just thought those tricks were great, and I wanted to show you a few of the swaps that I've made in my closet, just following from the closet declutter that I didn't even show you anything that I decluttered other than the bags. We did, you know, it was a deep dive on the bags, and that's fine. We had a great chat about luxury items, so again, if you missed that video, I'll link below for you. I'll link all the pieces that I showed here today, and then I would love to hear from you guys. Do you have any top tips, any tricks when you're trying to find new pieces or when you're working what's already in your wardrobe? Are there any tips and tricks that I missed that you think I should try? And I'd love to hear from you. Let me know if you enjoyed this video and if you want to see any more like this. I would love to film more in the future. Clothing can be so much fun. Blah. And it's amazing how different you feel with just a slight change of fit. It's a miracle. Clothing's a miracle, I tell ya. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here and for watching. And I'll see you all tomorrow for a new Everyday May video. Bye!